matchup.
I would agree.
Just by the way that Envy has been playing in this tournament, especially on Train, it's not looking like, it's going to be an easy one for them. But actually, I mean, the odds looking like they're going to be kind of even between both these teams right now.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking I'm still going to favor Luminosity. Like I had said, pound for pound, I think Luminosity eclipsed that of Envy.
I'll agree.
All the way down the line. Offers, entries, intelligence, game plans, everything. Right there with the pistols, though, Android's going to prove us wrong, and I love to be proven wrong. Nifty's able to pair up one more before Android himself goes down. A 2v4 turned quickly to a 2v3, and Bolts and Lucas now are working their way on this back lane, it looks like. Now last man standing being Lucas. At least he could get into back lanes if he chooses. Still plugged up over at Ivy, and he's been spotted as well. So the one that's responsible for that angle is JDM. He's holding this back CT side to make sure he's unable to escape. Might even be wise here for JDM or Lucas to back off, go back to Ivy, back towards T-spawn, and reset that defense. Instead, they don't give him that chance.
Jason was bringing this up, the fact that, Android being one of those impact players, he was playing very well throughout the other series that Envy ended up dropping. And right off that bat, pistol round, he's able to take the bait from his teammate towards the deep side of Ivy, pick up 2 kills popping in there, really just stopping Luminosity's rush right off the bat, allowing the rotations to come in. And Envy, off of Nifty's 2 kills as well, are going to pick up a fairly easy pistol round, I'd say.
Yep, there they go. And what a great time to start it, too, because you don't want to give those Ts that early start that they desperately want to get, because as soon as the rifles are on the field, it gets infinitely more difficult for the terrorist side to get into these sites. Fugly, aggressive in the B hall, standing on an off angle right now, but just as he unsettles his aim, they push in. He picks up 3. Down to his sidearm, he will fall. More than enough money recouped from him. Now the front line is here. Can they stop the bomb from being planted? That could still be a problem. The bomb comes down catwalk. Henny's on his way for the bomb plant, but Envy are starting to press the issue. Android gets baited by that bomb plant, and $800 secured by Luminosity in excess. It will be defused, but I think Envy are okay with the way that played out, considering how much damage Fugly was able to do.
Definitely think that aided Luminosity massively, just because of the fact that they were able to get bombed down. Looking at it right now, Henny will be able to pick up at least the AWP and armor if he wants, and that's going to be massive on a map like Train, where I don't actually think anybody on the Envy side will be looking towards an op to start this one off. Most likely just keeping their weapons, as they can't even pick one up.
Yeah, so regardless how you look at it, Luminosity are going to have a rifles advantage here. JDM, though, holding on to the scout on this next round is going to be a bit of an aggressive stretch. But again, Envy are just trying to stay ahead of the curve. If they are able to manage to win this round, even if there's only one surviving, they can breathe a sigh of relief that they're able to at least get past Luminosity's first rifle round, possibly stealing rifles of their own, bolstering their economy a little bit. So no matter what, even if one survives for Envy, Luminosity at the next stance, though, if there is one survivor, I think would actually go into a force buy, especially if that bomb is planted again.
Yeah, good opportunity for that. But Luminosity overall, moving into this first gun round, I imagine they're going to be looking at it as a slow default, just trying to push back the Envy players. They don't want to run into a heavy stack, maybe towards ladder, maybe towards Ivy. They want to just clear this out slowly, methodically, make sure that Envy's just backed up, pinched into the site before they actually explode. The scary part about it is if Luminosity does go fast, like you previously just mentioned, the fact that the SMGs can just take them down, upgrade themselves, bolster their economy, that's something that Luminosity wants to avoid here.
So the freeze time is now completing after a little bit of a tech issue with a microphone easy fix, and Luminosity are now looking to put their first mark into the buttstock in this third round. They've got full AKs, they've got full utility out there as well. They're going to throw their first volley both into A and B, it appears, to keep Envy respectful of, they actually even pulled a rotation over towards the B site. That was JDM that's back there. So they're going to have 2 defenders to B, 3 to A.
Yeah, a lot of damage being done early. His neck is actually sitting in that Molotov. There are those SMGs up close, and Bolts is going to be able to take down Android to start this round off with a little bit of pop flash action from his teammate.
Yep, that was a beautiful pop flash. Now Molotovs go all over and into, looks like towards the Olaf position. Nifty, though, point blank range. Oh, he's tracking as best as he can. Som's able to pick up that one over towards T-Con, but that was a bit of a little messy shooting. A 3-on-3 right now, and you have T's that have made their way into the site. Surprisingly, though, that's Nekiz. He does a drive-by going over towards Old Hell, taking a little bit of a skirmish against Fugly. It's a 3-on-2 with just shy of a minute on the clock. Luminosity can just take their sweet time right now, but having players embedded into the back lane of this site underneath Hell and everything else is a commitment. JDM's dialed in with his scout, He's only catching whiffs of T's that are squirting by. JDM's taking so much damage. There's nowhere left to hide. Fugly gets cleaned up as well. I love that from Luminosity. Very similar to what MIBR were doing earlier today in corralling the CTs in, pushing them closer and closer to that bomb train, making them feel as if there's no more air left in the room, and then shoot them.
Well, that's the thing about a map like Train. Once those pillars fall very early on, like they did towards Ivy, like they did towards Middle, that creates just such destabilization within the Envy structure that you're going to see Luminosity move into these very unorthodox positions like Hell and just hold. Envy, at that point, well, they're really hard-pressed to get anything even, because if they check the wrong angle, there's going to be another player on the other side ready to trade it out. So a great round out of Luminosity there to get their first on the board, and in response, it's going to put Envy onto a full save, just a couple P250s being bought here, and Luminosity should be tying this game up momentarily.
Yep. Absolutely so. A lot of good grenade damage, too. Fugly and Android caught a grenade at the bomb train on A. It is an A stack, so at least Envy have put their pawns in the right position. However, there's knights and rooks and everything coming down at them. Bolts with 3 kills on entry, making it look easy. Nifty is able to pick up one and almost a second one, too. But that might be the only consolation prize you get. Song climbing the ladder as quickly as he can, rapidly so, but still only one casualty of war, that being Steel. No big deal.
Actually, Envy are going to be on a double save. No, they're going to force up behind this. Okay. Not the greatest amount of utility through them, as Fugly goes down to the MP9 in efforts to get utility in his pockets. Som, the only one with a kit, and mostly Android with an MP9 as well. So this is a very scary round if I'm watching this from the Envy side. The fact that they won't be able to actually properly fight off at these Luminosity players in distance battles. JDM as well. He's got the op, but that's about it. Smoke, Molotov, no flashes to get him out, and there you go. The JDM is out of this fight.
There's the flash. That came in about 3 seconds after JDM's death. Now they push into the site, holding along the back wall. Nifty may have spotted one right there just at the moment, but they are running out of room quick. Nifty's going to try and push ahead of this one. They thought there was a player behind the server, so NECA is sacrificed. All for naught. 3-on-3 right now. Both teams have one player that's below 10 HP, hanging on by a thread. 2 of them now hanging on by a thread due to Nifty.
I can imagine just Luminosity calling the audible at this point, moving that bomb towards inner. Bolts and Henny both very low on HP. It's really on Steel to make this round happen, finding himself kills. I was very surprised with the fact that Luminosity forcing that Ivy smoke, just pressing the issue. They're going to actually get caught there as Nifty takes down, I do believe it was Lucas. But looking at it now, they are going to commit towards outside, and Envy, because of this hold, have rotated towards inner Dallas. So this is a good opportunity now for this round to go the way of Luminosity.
That's right. Nifty does spot one of those wounded players out there. He picks off the healthy one, too. Now it's starting to look like an uphill battle. At range, though, Bolts is able to avoid all the Matrix bullets coming at him, and they have a chance, but there is a flank coming. Henny underneath the ladder. Android thinking about it. Thinking about coming down this one. He has an HE. Oh, he's going to get picked off. Now they go up. This is going to be a quick B strike.
Will the rotation happen from Fugly, though? He's still watching that outside area, now rotating, but the bomb has already made its way into the site now. Fugly, no nades. The bomb will be getting planted. Bolts and Henny, 14 HP combined, are making this round work.
There's the first. Fugly could do this so easily with such a weak weapon. Bolts does not have any utility to come back into this fight. Fugly's going to touch the bomb, and now it's on to Bolts. What do you do here?
He's going to just assume he's not going to stick it. Yeah, he's hearing all of this as well.
Being so low HP, that is a wise play. The bomb's touched again. Fugly's still not on it. Bolts is still going to commit that it's a fake.
And Fugly's getting out of there. He doesn't want to play this situation.
This is such a great way to win the round, too. Because you were thinking, you said Envy had gone for a force buy in that round. And Luminosity are probably thinking the same thing. If they had bought up rifles, there's a chance that there's not kits on every player. Fugly picks up one kit in retreat. There was a kit on the field somewhere, but not every player has it. And when you're below 10 HP, making him think that it's a fake, or make him think that you're going to peek after a fake defuse, let him think that. Let him burn time, because time's going to be your best friend.
Yeah, definitely. I love the way they played that, just based off of his HP, not overextending in that round because of the lack of a kit. I mean, Fugly's just tapping away, trying to bait anything out, but it's not going to him just because of the Luminosity player's HP in that situation. He's not going to risk it. He's going to play the odds, and this time the odds, well, they go in his favor. As Luminosity pick up their 3rd round, Envy onto a little bit more of a force buy.
Yeah. Well, no, the JDM's the op was saved.
The op was saved, but we're going to see Fugly actually pick up the deagle. We're going to see the pistols getting dropped as well. So a little bit of cash being spent here.
They just flipped it. Instead of having a half buy in the last round, they went with as much of a buy as they could and then did a bit of a half buy here.
Exactly.
So it ends up washing out. Though if you do it the reverse order of operations, you actually have a little bit more going for you in what would have been this round. You would have had a full setup. So an early pick from JDM right now shows Luminosity that there is an op that has been saved from that previous round. They're going to set up some smokes into this inner site. JDM flashed only for a moment there. Lucas, it's only going to take a pixel for JDM to be able to punish you, but he's turned his attention back to the lower side. Android's forced the bomb to the deck, and he's upgraded to an AK as well. This is looking rather well for Envy right now. 4-on-1. They're going to manage to get this done, I think, with only a handful of players and one op on this round. Bolt's now in a 1v3 from the 1v4. Is going to try and take the initiative. Let the CTs think that they have the bomb. He's on the sidewalk. He's got a player above and behind him. What a round from Envy.
I really like what JDM did there. He ends up starting the round towards upper, picks off Steel, I do believe, towards that upper ramp. Then he cuts it back, picks up another angle towards that upper area, just opping from the back of yellow towards that part of the map. And this is the shot I'm talking about. After picking that up, the two players towards lower, you're actually going to see them, Android as well as Fugly, combined for another 2 kills. That was a great double stack that they had set up. Luminosity falling into that trap is going to lose them just a round that they should have had right off the bat.
It's just this eco rounds on train actually have so much potential because there's so many places you can hide, especially on the outer yard. And that might be why Luminosity decided to go towards inner. Sure, you only have a couple of close range fights on inner, but there's so many places you have to check when you're outside. So you picked your poison, you picked wrong. Luminosity going to this round with AKs and a deagle. It looks like they've already lost Nekiz. And it looks like at a distance, some of the players have been spotted coming out through T-Con. Android from on high in heaven will peel off that second player. Now Som working on the wrap around, spots the first and the second. Lucas is so blind. Som is able to get them both with the assist of the flashes from Nifty and Fugly.
You can just hear him yelling, actually, right there as Som picking up a lovely 3K to give Envy the 4-3 lead. Luminosity attempting an outside rush, but not too much happening for them as, look at how blind Lucas was. I'm pretty sure he was blind for a good like 4 or 5 seconds in that moment.
I think he caught 2 flashes at that point. So we had talked about the drama between Luminosity winning or losing the series. It's either first or last in the groups. Envy it's not as drastic, but it's still pretty serious. Envy, if they lose this, obviously 0-3 in the groups would remain in last place. If they win it, they jump up to 3rd place, which actually keeps them in contention for that second, third decider.
Yeah, and right now Luminosity going for the Ivy rush. Nifty with a nice first kill as Android comes in, picks up his second of the round now, and the final 2 members on Luminosity behind that Molotov. And we'll see the contact being made as Nifty misses the op shot. Reinforcements should arrive.
Yeah,
there they are.
These reinforcements are actually needed at that point because both Android and Nifty took a decent amount of damage from Ivy players coming in with P250s. So they had to fall off those angles, and they had a lot of assistance. The A site usually has a handful more players on it than the B sites. More likely than not, it's a 4-1 stack that way. So more hands were on deck than were absolutely necessary, but Envy get it done without losing anybody. That's a welcome sight for your CT side.
Yeah, for Luminosity now, their money, they've just full bought up into this round. Envy's built themselves a little bit of cash to just kind of sit back on if they do fall, but Luminosity really got to start in this round now. They got to get another round on the board. They can't let Envy start to pull away. They can't let this team get the momentum, because really when you have guns like Som, like Nifty, like Fugly, once that momentum starts getting going in their corner, it's really hard to stop them.
All right, Luminosity started out with a pretty good pace for their T side, but suddenly it's been getting a little bit lackluster. Envy's defense for the CTs has been pretty strong, and now it's only getting stronger with the double ops.
Nice
JDM,
shot.
I was talking about in the past couple days, JDM has missed some uncharacteristic shots. Now he's starting to seem to be coming online. Picks up that first kill to open it up, but it was swapped out by Bolt. It's going to be back to a 4-on-4. This is a difficult spot for Nifty. You can see where he's at right now. He has to hold Ivy as well as T-Con from where he stands now, but he's been smoked off of Ivy, so there's no sense in staying in this neighborhood.
Yeah, that's the thing. Once that middle player drops, it leaves the Ivy players open to just being shot in the side now. So Nifty taking his attention off of Ivy completely and moving to Bomb Train. As Bolts has moved towards Hell, we are going to see the outside split commence.
multiple players
Nice
on
shot.
the bomb train itself. And Nifty just spotted one going around to the outside. What a flick from him, but he will not stand for very long. JDM's all the way down to the B site. He was the solo defender there, and that is what he will remain. I doubt he'll go for a roll of the dice in a 1v3 like this, but he still is advancing forward. I just don't think this is an honest retake for him. There's just too many places to hide. There's been so much time that's elapsed since the bomb has been planted.
Maybe go for exits in this situation here? I do think Henny saw him now. Yep, that's it. Bolts will be able to take him down. But in that round, Luminosity doing a great little play towards that Ivy. They're actually going to drop that Dosia smoke that blocks off the majority of Ivy, basically. Doesn't give Nifty any type of vision. Generally, you see players smoke off the left side and then molly the right side. But this time, it was a complete lack of vision there for Nifty to actually see through, and he's going to fall back to bomb train. That allows Luminosity to move even further up. While he's falling back to bomb train, Bolts moves into hell, and that becomes just a two-pronged attack onto the site that Envy just cannot deal with. A great hit from Luminosity.
Fast play. Henny running straight out T-Con. He's burning a bit, but now he's scoped in. He's getting close enough that his scope is not going to be able to see the full field of view that he needs to. Nifty's able to swap out one on Ivy side. JDM, though, coming up massive. 2 kills for him to start off this round, and a man advantage quickly in favor of Envy. And I love that both of these teams, whoever wins the rounds, is super loud about it. Steel is able to secure the bomb back and secure at least even strength. They swing out. Everybody's taking these 1v1 fights, but it will leave Bolts in a 1v2 for himself. And Android coming up massive on that round as well, just cleaning it up. JDM starts it, Android finishes it.
Yeah, great start to the half from Android. Yeah, he's got 8 deaths, but he's also got 10 kills, really leading the way for his team to be in this game. Luminosity with a very fast outside being absolutely punished towards this Ivy. JDM picking up 2 great kills to start this one off. By the time it goes into the 1v2 against Bolts, that round already seemed like it was swinging the way of Envy.
Yeah, it did. So now Luminosity, they are in an okay position right now with still quite a few rounds to play out in the half. They go for a bit of a force buy. They've got an AK, Galil, UMP, CZ Tech 9. Everybody is able to choose their pick their poison. So this will be interesting how it ends up playing out. If they are to go to the inner site, the 2 defenders on that B site, Fugly and Android, are way, way back.
Yeah, this is a great decision from them.
You'd be able to get a bomb plant here. And yeah, Envy's expecting an eco round here. They're not expecting that this was a force buy, but they are expecting that somebody's going to be coming down that ramp in force with multiple people. So it's smart to just back off, play retake.
Give them the plant. We're nearing the end of this half now, and Envy, I mean, they don't really have the best money, so losing any more guns isn't what they want to do. The smokes are coming out. You're going to see Android nade towards lower. This should do a bit of damage. Oh, not too much at all, to be honest.
Just a chip. Here's the thing, though. Envy were not anticipating that much utility has come up and over into this site. That is a surprise. There's still utility being punched out by Luminosity. As they push up, they're trying to take as much of this yard as they can through the smoke. Psalm is finally able to draw first blood, and Luminosity don't want to be able to see this. Neck is at least able to turn it back, and it's dissuade Envy from the low ground. Fugly goes up top up there with Android. They're looking down on this, and it's so far those 2 players have been able to line them up and knock them down. Bolt's last man standing has a CZ as he sprays through the smoke in a dire dream of being able to pick up a frag. He will retreat. Luminosity do get a bomb plant, but Envy with I think a very happy success that they're only able to lose 1 that round.
Yeah, I really like that retake from the Envy side, taking the upper catwalk, and that was only simply because they smoked off the T side of upper, blocking off that vision. If anybody did go towards that area, they wouldn't be able to actually see the 2 players on Envy just running along that catwalk. At that point, they've got the height advantage. They've got the high ground, as so many people have said, and they just simply aimed down on the Luminosity players. It was a very easy round for them to pick up, and we are going to see the first time out of the game going the way of Luminosity.
You know who else had the high ground?
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He did. Don't try it.
I have the high ground.
Don't try it. So Luminosity were only getting able 1 round in the past 6 that have played out, but that's not unexpected. It is a CT-sided map, but what is surprising to me is that Envy are actually keeping normal pace on their CT side. I would expect it more from Luminosity just because I feel like they're a better team, a little bit of a stronger team, but this is the best way and the best opportunity for Envy to start on train is CT side. Get yourself out ahead, get yourself some confidence and some wind in your sails to move into the second half, which is obviously going to be more difficult. Might be a different story.
Fugly now, he's aggressed himself towards upper inner now, and that's some good distance he's making, able to spot this very early on. We do see a player in ladder as well in Som, and he's actually going to exit after that smoke does drop into the ladder area. Envy now playing a very heavy outside setup with an early spot towards inner and Fugly. Luminosity with a fast outside incoming.
They got a deeper smoke that's just out to the right side of this door. They're going to punch through it, and they've got a little bit of room to make their way to the E-box, though it is Envy that have lined up quite a few. 4-for-1 trade. Nice, pretty little take for Luminosity. It's just that all eyes from Envy were staring towards those smokes. Pretty obvious what was happening when that smoke comes out of the windows above the ladder and drops right there to make that connection between the door from ladder and E-box.
Even then, Som was pushed up right on the edge of that ladder smoke as well. So when Luminosity comes flying out, Som is letting them all run right by him. Of course, Android picking up the first 3 frags as well as JDM. Then Som chimes in, and he's able to get a very easy kill on Bolts. Basically, from his POV, all the Luminosity players just bolted out of ladder, bolted out of mid, and ran right by him.
And I liked how important that was from Android's perspective to drop that Molotov on that wall. That's the route that they're going to take to get into the site. This is a fast one. Nifty, Android, both getting kills to stop the rush from Luminosity. Have they at least deflated the tires from them and slowed them down? They do seem to be plugged up somewhere near Sandwich and Old Hell, but the bomb train still belongs to Envy. The bomb just now making it to at least the safe side if you're a Luminosity fan, but it is dangerous. Players are all over the place. Somehow Luminosity able to pull this one back slightly, but Nekis, thinking about planting this bomb, is going to be spotted. Som pulls him out, and it's leaving it all up to Bolts. 1v3, now 1v2, almost winning the next fight against JDM as well, who had the op from about as far away as you could possibly be. Bolts is lucky to be alive, and lucky to keep Luminosity in another chance to win this round.
Nifty should be able to pick this one up as Bolts. I don't think he has any idea that he's here. If Bolts does take his time, he's got plenty of time on the clock. He should be able to clear Nifty out, but it's going to depend on what Nifty does here that really determines the round. Yeah, Nifty hears all this. There it is. Easy kill for Nifty. 9-4 is our scoreline. Luminosity with another fast outside, absolutely being dismantled. This is the 3rd or 4th rush towards the outside bomb site that they've attempted, whether it be from Alley, whether it be from Ivy, whether it be from ladder. And each and every one has been stopped by Envy.
Yeah, so to add to that, for the outside plays that have been playing out, we also saw the inside defense from Envy. You got to recall back when Envy were on that eco or a little bit of force buy, they were able to put everybody up close to that ramp in the lower site, and that stopped Luminosity from playing another kind of rush strategy. So Luminosity's idea on T-side train is to set up and then just blast in as fast as you possibly can, whether that's a direct rush or just as a delayed rush, one way or the other. Envy are fine with playing at this pace of a game.
Okay, and as this freeze time begins to end, Dallas, looking at Luminosity now, 4 AKs on the field, Steel, double flash, smoke, Molotov, so he's really the utility for the team. Bolts has a flashbang, Henny's got a smoke and flash, Nekis also has a smoke, but there's nothing really going on in terms of full utility kits on anybody else. So if Steel goes down early, that's going to be such a detriment to the Luminosity cause on this T-side round.
A little bit of a change for Envy. See that they have Fugly up to the upper box halls, currently playing an off angle while JDM is at the bottom of the ramp. So if JDM makes contact, then you're going to have Fugly swing out and capture all that upper box hall rapidly. So if Luminosity manages to step up here and take one step too far into JDM's scope, the B site is going to look really good for Envy. Though that does weaken typically your A site. It's usually a 4-1 stack defaults for most teams, with one of those players on the A site being a quick rotate through Z. So this is looking like Luminosity might be able to crack open the lid on this A site. Only 3 defenders here, and those B guys are pretty far off.
Every time Luminosity's taken it slow towards Ivy, they've found the opening pick. Anytime they've taken the round slow, they've been able to have success. So here, just reciprocating what they've done before, going very slow. Nifty actually hitting a great shot, however, is going to keep Luminosity at bay. Flashes off the Luminosity players who are trying to trade it out, and can he find himself one more?
Well, here's the thing. Sure, Nifty's holding that angle. Now Android's coming from behind. He's at ladder, so he's able to at least cross the T up here.
That Molotov just burning them.
It did. That hurt quite a bit. But they are able to escape out of Ivy a little bit, and they expand, though. They're not able to create this beachhead that they desperately want. They're getting plugged up right on the front lines. Now you got Som. He needs to win this fight against Bolts, who just jumps right into Som's lap, and Henny picks up a kill. Suddenly it's turned right back around. It's 3-1, but the clock. Yeah, the clock was there, but Luminosity sprung I really thought that they were struggling to get out of Ivy, which they were, but getting one player out, getting towards Old Hell. At the same time, somebody came across T-Con and was able to get again towards that Olaf spot. So they just barely were able to get a little bit of territory, that strip along the back lane of that site, and that was enough.
Really just another slow round from Luminosity, paying off dividends. I'd like to see them continue that, moving in towards this last round here. Can they take it slower, or are they going to go fast and just get absolutely demolished by Envy's outside hold?
Yeah, the money's not all hot for Envy. Scout, Op, CZ, Augs, that's okay. But they do favor at least the important utility, the smokes, the mollies. It's just that there's two kits. JDM and Nifty are there.
So we are seeing Luminosity to begin this round. Another slow round for them. Getting steel across Ivy here. It has been smoked off though. We have box halls control from Lucas, and the other remaining members just patiently waiting. We see Bolts doing some nade dumping towards middle. He's all out of utility. But as we near that minute mark on the round, Envy just haven't gotten any type of free kill. That's what's been gifted to them multiple times here, round and round again. Luminosity going very slow into this round.
I really do appreciate that Luminosity have changed their pace a bit. And instead of this explosive strike and go, they're a little bit leaning towards this trickle in if they can.
Exactly.
And it's been working out quite well for them so far. Again, passive B-site defense, this time Fugly and JDM, and that's upper to lower respectively. So Fugly's going to find out that he's got players all out in front of him shortly. So spotting him out, but he has the scope, and Lucas doesn't. So JDM's having to come back with his op, looking downrange. Henny is able to dial him in, though. Steelfix finds the next, and it's fixing up to be a pretty good round for Luminosity. Man advantage as well. Your CTs are split from one another. Nifty is arriving from the CT side. He'll be coming towards that spool. On the other end, Psalm will be coming across the top side of ramp, possibly.
This is where it gets scary. Because there was that lurk from Steel now coming into Z, they're not going to expect the flank coming in from Psalm here. Psalm could have the potential to pick it up very easily. Now Henny turning around. Yeah, there it is. Wise choice from Henny to watch his back. Get Luminosity their 6th round on T side. A good T half out of Luminosity. A great showing from Envy, however, who weren't looking like the same team yesterday on train.
No, they've definitely improved. Absolutely so. We thought Luminosity was going to run away with this one. But again, it just ends up being a pretty vanilla first half. And when we come back, it's going to be more action between Envy and Luminosity. What are your thoughts on that second half coming? Is it going to be a landslide?
Ooh, I don't know about that. Envy was looking pretty good. I don't think Luminosity are the favorite ones anymore.
All right. So, yes, again, ladies and gents, you're watching the ESL Pro League. And when we return, it'll be the conclusion of the first map between Envy and Luminosity.
Sarah, I hurt myself today trying to make the pain go away. Sarah, I want to fade away, be with the stars in outer space. You come and you go, you take me high, you take me low. But I don't know how to do this on my own anymore. Oh no, that was my leave for the melancholy. Couldn't fill a hole inside me. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. That was the Xannies till I numb my psyche. Cocaine just to feel my heartbeat. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain. Sarah, I lost myself today trying to find ways to make you stay. Sarah. I want to go away, close my eyes, never wake up again. You come and you go, you take me high, you take me low, but I don't know how to do this on my own anymore. Oh no, now it's Molly for the melancholy. Cody, fill a hole inside me. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Now it's Xannies till I know my psyche. Cocaine just to feel me.
Ladies and gents, welcome back. It's the halftime stats for Envy versus Luminosity right now. And one of our standout players, I would say, for both sides is Bolts, for sure. He's top fragging for the team, 18 and 10. Nifty and Android are leading the way for Envy at 14 kills each.
I think one of the standout scorelines we're going to have to address right now is Steel sitting at 3 and 14 here on his, after his T-side half. And really what that tells me is just not being able to get in the zone, get those early picks, and that's just not helping Luminosity off. I feel like if Steel was doing the fragging that he was doing in previous days, Dallas, it'd be a much different game. But Envy right now off to a quick inner as Nekaz and Lucas finding the first 2 kills for their team here. 3 members for Envy, 2 members now as Android does take down Lucas finally. As Henny rotating in, is he able to get this? Android playing phenomenally, is finally taken down by Steel, and Nifty, the final member here, Dallas, gets the bomb down, a little bit of cash. Can he get the round?
That'll be difficult. Got players out there with armor as well, and Bolts and Steel are still healthy, so they might as well be. And it's going to be a quick collapse on him. Bolts will catch him from behind while it was all razzle-dazzle in front of him to distract him, that being Nekaz and Steel. So, Luminosity pick up the pistol round to continue on into the second half. And I don't know, man. It feels like it could be a different animal. It ended up being pretty vanilla in the first half, but I still have a holdout that Luminosity are just going to turn on and absolutely destroy this. They have the potential to do it. They have the offers to do it. They've got more than enough. This is their side. This is where they can really dictate how this plays out.
Yeah, and I'm just going to throw out an interesting stat there, and it's probably changed over time, but do you know how many headshots or how many pistol rounds kills are headshots?
70%?
Yeah, it's between 70 and 80%. So that's why in that situation, I believed in Nifty. Yeah, he might not have had the armor, but as long as he's hitting the head, he's probably going to get the kills.
That nade hit Psalm for 96. That is pretty close. Sometimes you get the 100 nade, sometimes you don't, but you have to actually tag him with the HE to get that 100. So now you're starting off on the back foot, and yeah, he'll be cleaned up by Lucas. Easy, low-hanging fruit. Now you've got Deagles and a P250. JDM's the only player that has that out there. The thing is, though, they got that bomb plant in that first round, and that's what they're looking for. They're looking to do damage here as best as they can. They don't want to have Luminosity run into the next round with 5 rifles up. They have to kill at least 2 players here in this round, and it's looking like a more and more difficult situation to pull that feat off.
The final 2 members of Envy now should be grouping up, maybe taking these solo fights. Nifty walking out upper, not seeing anything. He should be caught momentarily. There it is. Do see the bullets being fired off as Bolts does take him down. The final member in Fugly, he too shall fall as Nekaz puts his second on the board, and Luminosity are going to move on to 8.
All right, so now Envy will be able to buy rifles. The thing is,
and an AWP.
And a AWP. Sure, that's guaranteed now, but Luminosity not taking any casualties that round might spell a little bit of a problem because you have 4 rifles, 1 UMP, and they'll have full utility. If somebody was able to get a kill against Luminosity that round, you wouldn't see that full utility setup at all. So now Envy are looking to just recoup some of their losses, try and maintain this lead, or else it's going to be a tie ball game heading into the 19th round. We'll see how it plays out. You got a pretty good Ivy presence. You got upper box halls presence as well.
Okay, contact should be made shortly by Steel onto either Nifty or Fugly. Actually, I don't think Steel's going to risk it. I think he might have seen somebody as he was falling off and realizes this isn't a fight I want to take. Fully moving away towards the back, we're going to actually see a passive setup come into play from the Luminosity side, while Envy have made their way towards the bottom of Ivy.
Yeah, nobody's watching.
Nobody's picking it. Nekaz might get caught here.
Yeah, there's plenty of windows opened up to be able to get out of Ivy and squeak out and just disappear somewhere
There's flashes coming too. Okay, now Nekaz is watching it here. This is a very deep angle he's watching it from on top of this green train. Very dangerous, as if they do swing out Ivy, they'll have full scope towards Hell, maybe even pushing onto Bomb.
They've got ladder as well. They've been able to get the two corners of this A site uncontested. Can they slip out? Nekaz the timing. They slipped all the way back out to back halls.
Lucas is watching this, however, so Lucas has the opportunity to most likely pick up a frag, do some damage, make that call out. But if they get by, it's going to be an inner split, and that's exactly what's going to happen. The rotations need to come in. These two inner players are going to be pinched as JDM takes down Lucas.
Well, the B team has to worry about what's ahead of them and behind them. You can see they're putting themselves in between trains to get as tight of a foxhole as you possibly can. Bolt's now in a little bit of trouble. Fugly defends the ramp as well. Luminosity just had too many holes to start open on this round. They probably had doubled up on too many angles themselves, probably watching T-Con, but no presence on Ivy, no presence on ladder either. It was really you're playing from behind, considering Envy were scoping out the right places on the map.
Yeah, essentially in that round, Luminosity giving up Ivy right off the bat, allowing the Envy side to move deeper and deeper in the process. And then from there, they're going to start wrapping as JDM and Som finish up this round, but they're going to start wrapping towards the spawn side. Luminosity not making any adjustments. As soon as Envy makes that contact, they're going to bolt through spawn, Molotov off the Z rotations, and then at that point, they're going to just split into the site, and those two Luminosity players positioned inside are going to be easily taken down as they have to watch too many angles.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I think they probably doubled up on some responsibilities, some chores on that A site, and realized that a mistake too late. At that, the strategy of going Ivy into CT spawn into the B site is a difficult one to pull off because there's many places you can get shot at. But if you do manage it, it's a very easy B site. Som should have this easy one. Henny's Shadow sells him out. It was his biggest betrayer on that round, and now you've got a man advantage quickly so for Envy. They may have even spotted Nekaz in the bottom of this ladder.
Okay, Envy now will be taking it very slow after Som getting that entry kill. A nice kill from Som to start this round off. And look at this. He's going to pull off. He's not going to give himself or put himself in this trade opportunity. In fact, he's going to allow Ivy now to start pressuring on the map. And this is exactly what you want. He's done his job. He's got his kill. Let the people who are in trade positions now, as you see JDM as well as Android moving together, start off on another side of the map. This is a great idea out of them. Can they catch Steel off here, or is Steel going to get his 5th frag? Nope. He does get the dink off, though. But JDM, great cover, as they're going to be able to take down Lucas as well.
Timing is awful. Nifty almost comes down just at the right time. Nekaz throws the grenade up and in, and what a push from him very quickly up that ladder. And a 5v2 turned 3v2. Luminosity are roaring right back into this round. Bolts, if he could just catch JDM, but he can't quite do it. Now it seems like a bridge too far for Nekaz. Sure, he's got an AK, sure, he's got utility, but now he doesn't have any vision. His retina's burned out by that flashbang, and I think he'll call it quits. Ooh, and luckily enough, if he had gone wider around that corner, I think he would have ended up getting shot by JDM, who's all the way out Ivy staring at that position.
Yeah, Luminosity towards the Ivy area. You saw the initial entry coming up from Android as well as JDM posted up, watching down towards that deep Ivy on the right side, towards Hell. And basically this idea for Luminosity in that situation was Steel was going to play very tight in that cubby, and then the player just on his left side was going to swing off of Steel's contact. But JDM and Android, great communication there in that position. Android able to take down Steel. JDM realizing that the trade player is probably close by, watching Android's right side, and they take down 2 players almost instantaneously. And at that point, Luminosity just can't do much.
Yeah, Envy were able to patch up the holes from the round.
Here we go.
Just
what I'm talking
that.
about.
Like they had 2 players holding Ivy this time, but there was no stopping this tide. Envy just pushed right through them as if they weren't even there. Sure, you caught a 9mm to the head from the UMP, but it's not going to be enough. And Envy are starting to pour it on them. Luminosity having this AK from the previous round is as good as it's going to get. So it's likely going to end up being Envy's 12th before there's another resistance. And I mean, I love being proven wrong. I really thought Luminosity was going to run away with this game. I didn't even anticipate Envy would get any more than 8-9 rounds. They've eclipsed that and are looking for way more.
Yeah, as they look to get their 12th round on the board. Remember, Neck is saving that AK from the previous round. He's going to get very aggressive towards middle. JDM hanging out, able to take him down. That's the AK out of the battle right off the bat. Envy coming in and just playing cleanup crew now. Lucas is able to find 2,
yeah, he got 2.
But Som does take him down, and it's on to Bolts.
Yeah, that 2 kills was nice, assisted from the HE that sailed into T-Con. However, the Molotov that was supposed to have the same trajectory as that grenade did, and instead bounced short and ended up not burning JDM off that angle. So he ends up getting 2 kills. And now Bolts would like to recover a weapon on the tail end of this one.
Ooh, I like this from
If he
Bolts,
can go
actually.
all the way around and get a gun out of T-Con, that would be a possibility to actually win this round. But you have to make some fast movements to be able to start that. Instead, he's going to take the short road through T-Con, holding his P250 close to his heart.
Not really much for Bolts to really do here. As the Molotov comes towards Z, he's going to force his way out. I don't think Android's hurt him, but Android should have spotted him there.
He didn't. But Bolts did, I think. Oh,
Ooh,
he fires
firing off,
the
there
shot.
you go.
Yeah, that's now probably going to spell disaster. So Bolts' idea probably shifts if it wasn't already into exit frags and maybe exiting with an AK of his own. Man on the run, and they're thinking about pursuing. There's Android spotted, misses his shots. Bolts wasn't able to settle down and stop his movement before taking those shots. No more bloodshed on this round. Luminosity will be able to carry another AK over into this next round, but it will be backed up by a couple more rifles, though.
Okay, a 12-8 scoreline is what we're going to see here. JDM, this was the great shot that he hit onto Neckes to start the round. That's the AK down.
And see, that Molotov wasn't quite far enough, but that grenade was perfect. It did 50 damage.
Yeah,
that allowed 2 kills that came in there. I can't recall who got those frags, but those 2 kills were something that's to speak of. That keeps you within arm's distance. Lucas, okay.
Lucas was the one that ended up picking up those 2 frags for the Luminosity side. Unfortunately, not able to do much. And JDM right out middle, able to find 2 frags here as Som comes out, takes down Neckes, takes down Henny, and it's all onto Bolts. Just like that, in the blink of an eye, Envy has swarmed the outside bomb site, and Luminosity, they're nowhere to be found.
Oh, we're going to stack up the A site with 4 people. Oh, they rushed us. JDM gets 2 instant entries with the AWP. Must have had a fantastic spawn, and then leading off of that, Som was able to swing in as well, and the second kill from Som was nutty up in heaven. I think what actually saved Som's life right there was the defender in heaven had to break the glass first. Took a little bit of heat off the round, and Som survives at 4 HP. What a shot and what an entry. That one's probably more detrimental than just another round loss and a rifle round loss for Luminosity. That one's going to hurt on the inside.
Yeah, is it Envy now moving on to their 13th round? A stellar performance on their T side thus far. Luminosity, on the other hand, very lackluster from the Luminosity that we saw defeating MIBR on this very same map. Right now, the scoreline, or the economy of Luminosity, does tell me that they'll be looking at a little bit of a force buy, not spending too much money, which will give the opportunity for Envy to move on.
Here's the second one. First through the smoke, and then right up through into heaven.
That was great.
That was perfect. 13-8, and you're looking at even a little bit more. Max loss bonus has been acquired by Luminosity, so they'll go up with a little bit of a force buy behind this AK, but it really only means 1 more or 2 more guns. I'll count the Deagle in on that one, but the Scout included with the Deagle and then some P250s, as useful as that may be. Good times nade, but JDM on entry with AWP.
He's hitting some great shots right now, and you can tell by just the confidence, running down lower, taking that tight angle, finding steel to start the round off. The rotations will come to enter for Luminosity. However, we're going to see Fugly already aggressed, Molotoving off the rest of the Z rotators, smoking off between oil and yellow. The bomb should be getting planted momentarily, and it should be a 14th round at any second.
Yeah, there's not much to lose for Luminosity on this round, though, so get in there and get dirty with it.
Get in there.
Get in there. Fugly, first train, has the first kill, looking on the next one as well. Knows that there's somebody over towards Z. He would love to have somebody looking down that sidewalk side, but he doesn't quite trust it. 2 kills, turn it right back, but JDM on point as he always is. knocks out Bolts, and with the excess utility, will keep Luminosity all the way to the back end of that yard, they were just looking for kills at this round. But yeah, that one stung a bit.
That was a nice tappa right to Henny's face there. And Lucas will be saving this AK. Luminosity need to start picking up these rounds here. I'd like to see them maybe get aggressive towards Ivy very early on and just clear that space off. Maybe push into the T-Con right off the bat, but not solo. We'll see some pop flashes coming in, a couple nades to push them back, the Molotovs behind the box and the far box in T-Con. But Luminosity, they can't be giving Envy all this room to work with. They are hitting some great shots right now. Luminosity really need to get in their face and stop the issue before it happens.
Yeah, well, so far what we've seen, Envy's wild success has been on the back end of these entries from JDM. And right now he is leading the way over towards the upper box halls. Is anybody going to try and intercept him? He leaps and bounds into upper halls without even a fear or a fret. Now he's going to go down into the lower side of this. He leaps, jumps down again, looking for the shot. What a flick against Lucas. The JDM show. Spools is the defensive position. It appears for Bolts. And he needs some help, big time. He's firing through those spools, and Bolts now knows he's in trouble. He swings out, gets the kill, traded. So JDM even assisting his team in the afterlife. Man advantage for Envy as they continue to rain terror on Luminosity with these fast entries, though they have reset themselves, and this is great too. So Luminosity have to make this decision. Do we stack everybody together and still be outnumbered, but at least have a chance to defend one of these sites?
Well, they're going to leave two people towards the outside bomb site. And why? Because Steel right now has aggressed up lower as Henny does take down Android towards Ivy. Steel aggressing. That lower ramp now finds Fugly. And just like that, the round turns on its head and we're into a 3-on-2.
Steel is still up here in these halls, and he's swinging out. Nifty. He goes down. Excellently played by Steel, who's been quiet this entire game. Has picked up how many? 2 kills in this round, and he's got 6 total in the match.
He's got a third of his kills.
Third of his kills, and saves the round when it matters most. So Luminosity are able to avert disaster there, even though Envy were able to pick up a 2-for-1 trade to start that round off in the B site, in a site that you anticipate to be a little bit more weakly defended.
Yeah, I mean, Envy, that was a wild start to the round for them as JDM just full confidence out lower, able to pick up that first kill. And then Steel, I really like that mid-round aggression, realizing that, hey, they probably fell back. They're probably going to give me all this room to work with. He pushes up the lower ramp, able to find 1, able to find 2. Luminosity get their 9th on the board, but they still got a long ways to go. The momentum hasn't swung in their favor yet, Dallas.
Yeah, not quite. Still plenty of cash in hand for Envy. And I thought again that they were just going to go for one of these rush plays as quickly as they could. Pop flashes out Ivy. Luminosity are gathering a ton of information at that. Now the fight goes on the inner side. JDM, of course, pipes up with his own words. Lucas is put down after picking up 1 kill of his, but it's a man advantage for Envy. It seems to be the case that Luminosity are always playing from behind. They have to be able to pull off a 3-man streak again. The last time they did it, they actually did it in the most unreasonable way, and the unlikely way was everybody won these 1v1s. Now it's becoming a more and more dire spot. Bombs being planted. It could get stopped here up and over the top. It is, but only temporarily. It was just because Nifty was trying to defend the honor of Song. Bombs down. 1v2 now. Bolts has a chance. The bomb's right at his feet.
Bolts now just peering off towards this right side. JDM misses his shot. We haven't seen him do too much of that, but Fugly there able to take him down as Bolts attempts the 1v2, but Envy are going to get their 15th round. This is massive for them here, and Luminosity, look at their money. They're not really going to be able to get all the utility that they want going into this final round. Bolts, only a smoke. Henny, nothing whatsoever. Nekaz, he's got a smoke and Molotov, but really, on a map like Train, you want to be fully kitted. They don't even have kits, speak of the devil.
Well, they got 1. Lucas has 1.
Yeah, Lucas has 1, but he's only got a deagle. It's a rough buy for Luminosity to stay afloat.
That's exactly right. And they need a better CT half than this. They're going to go aggressive. Lucas gets the 1 dig off the second shot after giving Fugly a warning shot, 1 over the bow. JDM picks 1 and 2 up, and now you've lost a big piece of firepower if you're from Luminosity. You're in a bit of trouble. You're in a bit of a pickle. Even though it's a 3v3, Lucas is a bit of a liability. The man with the kit, the man with only 12 HP.
Sam is hitting some great shots right now, I must say. Bolts has taken down JDM towards Ivy, Dallas, and looking at this 2v2, I like the play from Envy here. very slow, very methodical, looking for another overextension from any CTs. The bomb will be planted now and bolts towards Ivy. Will he be able to take down Nifty? Lucas is very low on HP, so really this is on bolts to clutch.
It is, absolutely so. He's making his way across Ivy right now, peering into the site. He's got Psalm in cover above the trains, but he's turning and just can't quite get the corner on Nifty, and Nifty will take Lucas. That's where the kit is, but Bolt has managed to sneak his way into the site. He doesn't anticipate where Psalm is, and a little bit of an upset, I'd say, a lot of bit of an upset, as Envy take map 1 against Luminosity.